Michael. It's nice to meet you. I'm Kara.
Nice to meet you.
So can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. I'm a sophomore in college.
Mhm.
I study political science
Okay.
at Emmanuel. Um, I'm 21 years old. Let's see. Some of my hobbies include basketball and guitar,
Okay.
and yeah. Sometimes in the summer I work in construction.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
but I'm not really sure. Is there anything else you want to know?
Um, can you tell me a little bit about your family?
Uh, yeah, sure. My I have a pretty strict dad, but besides him, I have a loving mom,
Mm-hmm.
two older sisters.
Where do they go to school?
They go to Harvard.
Harvard. Wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, they study law,
Okay.
and yeah, nothing really much about them. They're pretty caring people.
Mm-hmm.
My dad likes to pride himself in his wealth, sort of. He kind
Okay.
of like makes himself want to sound like a self-made man.
Now, what does your dad do?
He's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer. Okay.
Mhm.
So are your sisters kind of taking after him and his profession?
Right, and I think I might be following along with that too.
Really?
Hmm.
Wow. A family of lawyers. Okay. And what does your mom do?
She stays at home.
Your mom stays at home.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
So overall, you would say that you have a pretty close relationship with everyone in your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Okay. So can you tell me what brought you in to see me today?
Lately I just can't pinpoint why I'm feeling so stressed.
Okay.
I feel pretty stressed out and anxious throughout the day.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about that stress? Like, do you have any history with anxiety? Have you ever had any trouble with stress before?
I have, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not very good at coping and dealing with
Okay.
stress. Um,
Do you have any ways that you usually try to cope with stress? I know that you said guitar. Do you,
mhm.
play music
I
to kind
do. I
of?
like to write my own music.
Oh, you write your own music.
Mhm.
Okay, that's great.
Only if I have time for it. But lately, I feel like I haven't been having enough time on my hands.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about your schedule? I can assume that you're pretty busy at school.
I'm taking 5 classes right now, and they're two of them are 300 level courses, so
Okay.
it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
yeah tolling on me right now.
Okay. And you said that you work construction in the summer?
Yeah, just well, the last couple summers I
Last
have.
couple summers.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you work at all while you're in school, or do you try to just, focus
I
on your
look for
classes?
jobs,
Mm-hmm.
but
Okay.
it's not a priority of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I'd
Definitely
rather
focusing more on your schoolwork.
right.
Okay. Do you mind just telling me a little bit more about your family? Like growing up, your relationship with your father. I just want to
Yeah.
kind of get that down. You say that he's strict. Do you
Hmm.
think that that was reflected at all in your childhood?
I would think so. I mean, I wasn't always the greatest kid growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I would always get into trouble,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought it was kind of unfortunate. I thought I mean, well, just real quick, uh, like a couple weeks ago, I was out in New York with my
Mm-hmm.
friends, and we actually got arrested
Okay.
for being on top of a roof. It was trespassing,
Okay.
and I thought it was just unfortunate because I mean we've done it before and we've
Mm-hmm.
never gotten in trouble,
So just
and
bad timing.
it was just bad timing. I think,
Okay.
and that's how I felt like um, when I was younger.
Okay.
Like a couple times in school, I was called to the principal's office for like fighting with a girl or you know let's see, there was an incident on the school bus where I said something and it kind of like telephoned its way all the way up to the bus driver,
Okay.
and they weren't too pleased about that. But
Oh,
I,
so it sounds like you've got some lousy luck with
yeah,
timing.
that's what I think it is. I always mean well. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I tend to stay away from drugs, alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider myself like a bad kid at all.
Okay. Now can you tell me a little bit more about your sisters. You said that they're both older than you. How far apart are you in age?
We're about 2.5 years. One is graduating Harvard this year.
Okay.
She's about 3 years.
Okay.
The other one's about two.
Okay. So I take it that they were never really ones to get in trouble.
No, not at all.
And that kind of made you feel like the problem child
Right.
with your father, and that might be why you view him with kind of a strict demeanor.
Mm.
Okay. So now that you've told me a lot of great details that I can work with, is there anything else I should know that might be fueling this stress? Relationship problems, problems with friends. I know that you said that you stray away from drugs and everything like that, but maybe pressure from peers to stray away from your school.
Lately, I haven't been. I feel like I haven't been giving myself enough time with many things, including my friends,
Okay.
and I don't really feel like they're understanding where I'm coming from. I mean, I like to, although I may sound like I come off as lousy, I think I have like a pretty solid work ethic.
Okay.
It's just like you said, it's just a little unfortunate, I believe, in timing.
Okay. Do you think that your father views you to have this great work ethic, or do you think that he has that view of you in his mind as the problem child?
I think he views me as a problem child, actually. Yeah.
Now, what does he think about your education?
Um, he's never really said much
Mm-hmm.
about it. I mean, like, I would be reading some books with my sisters, and they kind of influenced me to go into like poli sci and law, but not really him.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just feel like that would be like the thing he wants.
So, do you not really have passion for poli sci and law? Do you think that you're kind of just going into it to
I mean,
satisfy
I
your
like
father?
it, but I wouldn't say like it's my passion, I guess.
Okay. If you were to go into a major, into a field at college, if your father, didn't have this view of you, this view that you perceive he has of you, what would you go into?
Probably science.
Science.
Mhm.
Okay, like biology?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, Michael, you've told me a lot of great information. I kind of just want to go over it all with you. So
Sure.
you're feeling a little bit stressed lately. You're under a little bit of pressure. You feel specifically from your father because with two sisters going to Harvard, you want to make sure that he feels as proud of you and as satisfied with your efforts as he does with your sisters. Um, you feel like you're kind of disappointing your family, seeing that you just have bad luck, it seems, and you've been getting in a little bit of trouble throughout the years, and you kind of feel a little bit unaccepted due to the stress that you're carrying around with you. Is that a pretty good overview of your problems?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty solid.
Yeah, is there anything you'd want to add to that?
I can't say I would right now, but
Okay.
if it pops into my mind, I'll let
Okay,
you know.
great. So after hearing all of this, I kind of just want to introduce you to our approach to your problem. It sounds like you kind of want to extinguish this stress that you're feeling. So I think that we're going to take the approach of psychodynamic therapy.
Okay.
And just to give you a little overview, psychodynamic therapy is focusing on some inner and unconscious conflicts. So, my goal throughout our sessions is to make sure that you become aware of these unconscious issues and thoughts so that we can work on making them better. Basically bringing your unconscious thoughts to the conscious mind, and that'll help us really get down to what is causing you this stress. But I think that you've given me a lot of valuable information so far. So if you're willing, I kind of just want to do a little exercise with you right now. Have you ever heard of free association? Sure, it's kind of in those classic scenes with the people lying down on the couches in the movies.
It's kind of like something that comes to mind.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So I'm going to give you a word, and I just want you to, say the first word that comes to mind. Okay. So I'm gonna say stress.
Um, uh,
And you know, it can just be the first thing that comes to mind. You don't have to think about it.
um, overwhelming.
Overwhelming. Okay. Friends.
Um, unsympathetic.
Unsympathetic. Okay, interesting. Schoolwork.
Uh, worried.
Failure.
Um, fear. Fear.
Okay. Home.
Mm, not supportive.
Supportive.
Yeah.
Okay. Dad.
Successful.
Successful. Okay. And self.
Um, uh, disappointing.
Okay, so you know, a few of these stuck out to me. You know, dad, successful. Home, not supportive. Self, disappointing. So you say that your dad is successful, which is, you know, a positive adjective, but at the same time you say home, not supportive. So, you know, I think that what you're experiencing here is a feeling of a lack of acceptance from your home. And do you, mind my asking, do you view your dad as an intimidating force in your life?
Yes.
You do.
Definitely.
Okay, you do. And you say self disappointing. You know, I think that that's coming directly from your relationship with your father. So I kind of just want to introduce to you the idea of it's called displacement. You know, I've noticed that you're pretty hard on yourself as a result of the stress you take on from school and seemingly from your family, your father in particular. So this is kind of a form of, I'm sure that you've heard of defense mechanisms before.
A little bit.
Defense mechanisms. Okay, so displacement is a form of defense mechanisms, and you're taking your stress and your anger out on yourself, which you are displacing your stress and your anger onto yourself. It's coming directly, you know, am I right, from your family and your schoolwork?
Now that you mention it, I can, yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so you know, your stress and your anxiety are coming directly from your family and your schoolwork, and you would never express that anger to your family, I take it, especially seeing as you view your father in an intimidating light.
Right. I've never, like I said, I don't really, I mean, I guess I get along with him. I guess we can get by,
Okay.
but, I wouldn't, I feel like he's not very involved with, my life. Like he wouldn't, um, I don't think he would be, very happy or accepting that I'm actually talking about this right now. Now that you mention it.
So I would say that the main thing that you've told me is you feel a lack of acceptance.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about that? A lack of acceptance, especially in your father's eyes, if you can.
Well, like I said, I was always kind of troubled, but
Okay.
at the same time, I feel like he wasn't very supportive of trying to help me um, to stay out of trouble.
Okay.
Maybe he kind of was just hovering like under the radar in our family, just always working, and um, I guess I never really got to bond with him.
Okay.
Unlike my mom, who like I think she's awesome.
Okay.
And I think with my sisters, I mean, like we siblings, we can like care less. I mean, we like love each other and whatnot, but we're supportive in what we do. But I mean, it's with my siblings. I feel like they're kind of passive too, and things that I might be a little, you know, determined to seek out or enthusiastic about. like, for example, like I started teaching myself guitar,
Mhm.
and no one uh, really showed an interest that I picked it up.
So you kind of feel like you've never really had a support system.
Besides my mom, not really. I would play for her a couple times,
Okay.
and she would love that. And I could see with my siblings, like they'll just see it as like noise, kind of, if I'm like
Okay.
practicing. But with my dad, not even close, I would say.
Do you mind telling me a little bit more about the relationship your sisters have with your father?
Sure. Well, they're practicing law at Harvard,
Mhm.
and that's like, to me, it's completely clear that they want to follow in the footsteps of my dad. And
Okay.
my dad has actually gone out of his way to set them up with internships. Um, for example, one of my sisters who's graduating
Mhm.
had an internship over the summer
Mhm.
working with a state attorney in Florida.
Wow.
Hmm.
Impressive. Okay.
Hmm. And the other one is probably going to get set up with something
Something
similar to that.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm.
And they always got straight A's in school. Um, I felt like he went to some of their, like recitals
Mhm.
and stuff, but never really went to mine.
So you would say that his relationship with them is stronger and more supportive than his relationship with you.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
And now saying that, just something small, but I actually, can you tell me what are your sisters' relationships like with your mom? Are they similar? Are they as strong as the relationship with your dad?
Um, I think my mom's like a loving, caring
Mhm.
person, so I think across the board, my entire family, she's like the go-to person. Everyone gets along with her. Like, never had any problems. Um,
Mhm. So when you said home not supportive, you weren't talking about your mom. You were thinking about your father and your sisters.
uh, yeah,
Yeah.
actually.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Continue. So she's loving and supportive.
Yeah, loving, supportive. Um, she's always there for me.
Mhm.
I felt like she was the one who was trying to help me get out of trouble. And uh, oh, perfect example. I didn't tell my dad about the fact that I got arrested a couple of weeks
You
ago,
didn't. Okay.
but I did tell my mom, and I really asked her like not to let dad know,
Mhm.
um, because I mean I feel like this would have been the last straw for him.
Okay. And did she keep her word on that?
So far, so
So
good.
far she has.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, I would assume that you didn't tell your father, basically because you already have this perception of him as not so supportive of you and, kind of, I don't want to say viewing you below your sisters, but, not on as high of a level of appreciation and acceptance towards you as your sisters. So you didn't tell him because you didn't want to broaden this somewhat negative relationship with your
Right,
father.
right.
Okay.
I feel like it would be pushing each other further apart instead of bringing us together.
Okay. Um, Now, have your sisters, they're only human. I'm sure that they've made mistakes before in their life. Has your father been accepting of those mistakes? If they ever have done anything to disappoint him?
Um, well, my oldest sister is, I don't think she's ever made a mistake in her life.
Okay.
Um, Always a straight A student.
Mhm.
Um, a seasoned athlete.
Okay.
Just an old overall golden child.
Okay.
Um,
So she really set the bar high.
yeah. I really can't think of any mistakes she might have gotten. No traffic tickets. No
Okay.
nothing.
So
I
she
can't
has
think of
good timing compared to your
what I would,
timing.
yeah,
Yes.
would say is
Okay.
poor timing.
Now, what about your other sister?
She's kind of in the middle of us. She was also a straight A student, but she didn't do any sports.
Okay.
she accidentally uh, hit our mailbox once with my dad's car, and
Okay.
uh, it was just like I said, poor timing. Actually, a month earlier,
Mhm.
I kind of didn't wreck the Jaguar, but I drove it around on the lawn.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I just I don't know. I just wanted to just drive around the block, but um, I don't know. I had my learner's permit at the time,
Okay. So you
and
didn't really know what you were doing.
I guess not. But
Okay.
um, I mean, to me, it was just like it's the lawn. It's like it's not that. I don't know. I felt like he made the consequences like way too severe.
So you feel like that incident ruined your relationship a little bit further with him.
Right.
Now, when your sister hit the mailbox, did it cause problems between them?
Um, no, I wouldn't say not nearly as severe.
Okay.
Um, all he did was make her go to Home Depot and pick up another mailbox. Yeah, fix it.
So I'm kind of noticing, I don't know if you can agree with this, a triangle between your sisters. Now, I would take it that your sisters are very close.
Yeah,
Sound
they are pretty close. Yeah.
Okay, and they have each other's backs. And are they supportive of one another?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say so.
So, I'm kind of noticing a triangle between the three of them, and I mean, your mother unincluded in this triangle because it kind of seems like she is supportive of all of you, but I'm noticing between your father and your two siblings a triangle, which is when three members of a family are kind of on a mutual level where they're supporting one another and they have one another's backs, and it's almost as if your sisters can do no wrong with your father. Am I right?
That's how it feels.
Yes, that's how it feels. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, to go back to displacement really quickly, I don't know if I finished my definition of that. It's just that do you view yourself as kind of an outlet? You're taking your stress out on yourself because you do seem to be pretty hard on yourself, because of your father's seemingly high expectations of yourself.
What do you mean by an outlet?
By an outlet, like you are taking your stress and your anger out on yourself,
Okay.
rather than taking it out on your father, because you wouldn't dare to do that,
Yeah,
because you don't want to make him more disappointed in you
Um,
or angry with you.
yeah, I mean, I do remember once, I think it was like third grade where I did third, maybe fifth. Anyway, I talked back to him, and uh, that was just not a good scene. So
Things weren't okay.
no. So
He made it clear that that wasn't okay
that
with
was
him.
no.
Okay.
But I guess I never really thought of how I placed that anger or stress on everything else. I guess I do put it on myself.
You do. You do. You set very high expectations for yourself, and that's tying into this whole idea of displacement. You are using yourself as a means of taking out your stress and your anger rather than the source that it's coming from. Um, and I didn't get the chance to ask you how are you doing in school?
I'm doing okay. I have three B's or a B minus, two B's, and two C pluses.
Two C pluses.
Yeah.
And how far are you into the semester?
About halfway.
Halfway. Okay.
I mean, I'm not too worried about the B's and the C pluses. I mean, um, I'm studying for my midterms that are coming up, and I think I'm gonna ace them. So I think,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I've been working hard.
So you think you can bring those up?
Definitely.
And are you happy with this idea, with how your grades are gonna probably, hopefully fingers crossed, end up to be? Are you satisfied with that?
Um, Not really. Cause I want to get um A's.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to get A's. A's. I like need to get A's.
You need to get
Yeah.
A's. And why do you feel that way?
Well, it's kind of like my. Guess I'm doing this for my dad again.
You're doing it for your dad
Um,
again.
he won't. I feel like he won't respect me unless I, do well in school.
Okay.
As not maybe as well as my student, not students, siblings.
That's your siblings.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to be aware of transference. I don't know if you've ever heard of transference, but it's the theory in which your past is directly affecting your present. So you may feel unaccepted by your family now because of the pressure that your father has put on you in the past, possibly related to your siblings' performance in school and his relationship, like I mentioned, the triangle that he has going on with your siblings. I want you to be aware that instead of putting this stress and this anger on yourself and setting such high expectations for yourself because of your father, because of the pressure that he's put on you for what seems to be a long time, and the somewhat negative view that he's taken on you for a long time. I want you to ease up on yourself a little bit, and I think that you've told me a lot of great information, and I think that this is something that we can definitely work on in our future sessions. If you agree with everything that we've talked about, where the source of the stress and the anxiety is coming from, I think that this is definitely, these thought processes we can definitely bring to your conscious, and we can diminish them. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds great.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Michael.
It was nice working with you.
You too.